The tech bubble is ancient history for the majority of investors today. They weren't invested during that time as many were either too young or didn't have the means to be involved. Today, it's easier than ever for retail investors to buy into stocks and chase the trends and ride the waves. Right now, there are a considerable amount of unicorn companies and the valuations seem to grow beyond the imagination of anyone. Is this the tech bubble 2.0? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we're going to look at an interesting topic. We're talking about unicorns. We're talking about those that are valued over $1 billion. These are companies that came out of nowhere. They may not have a really good product. They may not have something that makes money. They may be profitable. They might be spectacular. Nobody really knows. There's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of hysteria. And of course, we have them in the media every day. People might be using their apps and so on, but what is their true value? That's what's difficult, but they try to do so on the markets. They come on their IPO and the market will ultimately decide what that is. So we're going to look at this today. I wanted to begin by taking a look at the Global Unicorn Club. 326 private companies valued at $1 billion plus. It's split down into the different categories, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's internet software, fintech, and so on. You can look here for yourself if you're interested. You can pause the video, zoom in, or I will have the link in the description. Of course, you're seeing names like Uber and Lyft and so on. This comes as of March 5th, so it's fairly recent data anyway, but just trying to give you an idea of all these different companies that are out there, which are literally billion-dollar companies. Many of them are not much more than an idea or an app with some users, but they want to find the next Facebook. They want to find the next big company that's going to make people wealthy, and they've seen so many like Amazon and others that have come up from nothing, and today those companies may be the same situation with these, but look at what happened in the 90s. People got so exaggerated with all of their beliefs about what this company was going to do, that company was going to do. They didn't really care about all the numbers behind it. They simply wanted to find the next big thing. And when you do that, you end up creating a bubble. That's what happened last time. We'll see what happens this time around. There's a list on here as well that I will include if you wanted to see it for yourself. These are the valuations here, just showing you how much money a particular company can be worth. ByteDance, $75 billion. Uber, 72. You're looking at WeWork in here, which I'm constantly seeing in the news, negative news articles written about them. There's Airbnb, of course, SpaceX, and so on. So I just wanted to show you that, how what is currently being valued for these companies, what is the current valuation of these companies based on this. But as I said, nobody really knows until it IPOs and you see it on the market and investors decide. Monthly count of VC deals, venture capital deals, raising $100 million or more worldwide since 2007. Obviously, this has escalated considerably, right? You can see that on here, no doubt. But look at this chart here. It happens to coincide and mirror entirely with what has happened with the Nasdaq. There is no doubt that these are obviously interconnected. They are seeing the rising stocks. More money is going in. As more money goes in, the rising stocks continue. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. There are 88 privately held startups worth more than $1 billion each in the San Francisco Bay Area, more than any other region in the world. So you can see the concentration, obviously. This is one big area for that. But we are looking at all of these unicorns all over the world. There's just one problem. They seem to be losing money in many cases, losing their way. Selected companies, cumulative profits since founding. This is in the billions of dollars. And you could see companies like Lyft, Uber, Snap, WeWork, Dropbox, and so on. This just gives you an idea of the multi-billion-dollar losses that these companies may incur. This is not a good sign for these companies. If you want to buy into their investments, you should know what's happening. You can't just say, well, everybody takes Uber today, therefore it is going to do well. You don't necessarily know that. How it performs as a private company could be very different as a public company, but we never really know. It could become the next big thing. That's the issue. But I think that people are really overzealous when they get into an investment. They're so excited, and then they realize that some event is going to happen later and it's going to deflate that bubble. You have to watch out. You have to hedge your bets, and you have to make smart decisions. You can't just expect things to rise forever, and your investments, which may be pretty new, for example, if you bought Lyft, you don't know that Lyft is going to be around 20 years from now. Maybe there will be these different ride-sharing programs that will exist, but will the ones that exist today be those that are prominent 10, 20 years from now? Nobody really knows. That's why you take a risk. That's what happens when you invest. You are taking a risk, and you need to be aware of that. The United States of tech startups, the most well-funded VC-backed tech startups in every US state. Looking at California as an example, you can see Uber is there. There are others. If you're interested in taking a look at that, I just wanted to show you, to give you an idea that there are all of these tech startups going on all over the United States, all over the world. In fact, there's a lot of money that is going into this. Then the IPO, potentially bringing a lot more money into it. And I think that some of these companies are going to provide a beneficial service to the world, to the communities, but there are others which I'm not so sure about. And this is talking about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a very generic term. We shouldn't necessarily fear the term itself, but I think that it's going to get into a point where it goes overboard. And these are just some of the companies right here for 2019, whether it's in agriculture and automotive and healthcare, finance, and so on. Artificial intelligence is being used in a way that is basically unchained, and they're not making smart decisions about it. They're not trying to control what it can do. They're trying to go as far out as they possibly can, because there's a race. Who can create the best artificial intelligence for this type of industry or that type of industry? They want to win, obviously, and this is going to create a problem into the future. These companies are going to be valued massively. I'm actually going to do a video about artificial intelligence, about jobs, about programming, and how that is definitely one of the industries that will do very well into the future. I do see that as happening. However, the downside to this is that it's going way overboard. There's obviously going to be most of these companies that go bankrupt, but at the same time, it's going into areas people do not know. They're giving it too much power, too much control, and unfortunately, we're going to be burned by what happens with artificial intelligence, and you know the rest of that story. I'm going to end the video there. If you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. When you give me a thumbs up, you're supporting this channel, so I do appreciate that very much. If you want the financial education you weren't taught in school, the foundation, history, the asset classes, all the details about how to make money and reduce your debt, well then these two books have everything you need. Check them out at the link in the description. If you want the audiobook, that's available at themoneygps.com. I did a video about Uber. If you want to check it out, click on this link and I will see you there.